It's Totem Tuesday. It's Totem Tuesday. These are the Totem Warz, brother. Aloha, my friends and race fans. Welcome to the Season 3 finale of the Totem Warz. Today is the last chance for the Totem drivers to break the ranks of the Totem Drivers' Den in the season finale of the Totem Drivers Shakedown. The number one spot has been in contention and exchanged between several of the drivers. Currently, Puff of Puffs Racing has held the top spot the last 2 weeks. Can he hold it for the season closer, or will we see a new number one at day's end? There have been so many drivers making big moves this season. The biggest move was made by Savage Sandy of Rick's DIECAST Racing from the lava seat 10th place. She battled her way through the ranks, taking no prisoners on her way to the number one spot. Up until then, it was Variant and Thunder Girl trading off that number one rank. Dr. Z from Zamax Speed Shop followed up Sandy's assault by blasting through the ranks up to number 6. Over the next few weeks, drivers traded ranks as much as they traded paint, and the once long-reigning queen of the totem, Priestess, has been on a steady spiral straight out of the ranks. And when the bongs lit up, we knew who was on the raceway. Puff of Puffs Racing took a big hit off the ranks, smoking his way into 5th place. And the following week, he was token over the number one spot. In week 9, we got to see firsthand what happens when a car is hit by a rhinoceros, as Black Rhino of Top Gear Racing charged and rammed his way to 7th place on the totem, crushing more cars in a day than a salvage yard. Last week, Cooter Smith, fully redeemed after the redemption rally, took on the Totem drivers and now sits in 10th place after knocking Priestess completely out of the ranks. Suki Kyoto made a charge up the ranks, taking over 2nd place and knocking a few drivers down in the ranks while doing so. She is only one of 2 GDM drivers left in the Totem ranks along with Morgan Stark. They won't get knocked off the ranks this season, but how long can they hold out against the Totem drivers and challengers to come in Season 4? That will have to wait to be answered. Because now it's time to wrap up the Totem Warz Season 3 with the Totem Drivers Shakedown. And we kick it off with the 10th place ranked driver taking on number 9. Let's get him up to the line and get to some racing island style. Alright, here we go with our first race of the day. It's Cooter on the inside, racing Rick on the outside. And Cooter's taking the lead in the greater corner. Oh, something happened to Rick. Didn't see quite what happened. He got sideways and smacked something. Oh! And Cooter is out on the dragon's spine. Well, that was quick. And there's Racing Rick doing a lava cake in Calamity Corners. We'll move on to our next 2 drivers. That's going to be Morgan Stark trying to take on the Raging Rhino. And, oh, they're door-to-door through Crater Corners. Morgan takes the lead down the pipeline. Now they're in Calamity Corners. Getting a little swerve heavy there. Morgan slowing down. Oh, and Black Rhino just skidded out. And Morgan's going to win that one. Slow as hell, but it's a win. And there's Black Rhino, sideways on Leaky Leaky Drive. Alright, now Morgan's gonna take on Dr. Z. Let's see what happens. There's a green, they're door to door going down the divided straight. Dr. Z stuck his nose out and he's got it out there again. Now he's got the lead going into Calamity Corners. Across the dragon's spine. Swerving a little bit on Leaky Leaky Drive, but he's still in the lead. Morgan not in sight. And Morgan is held up in the Temple turn. So that means Dr. Z gets to take on Savage Sandy. It's DIECAST Racing. And there they go, the battle of the Corvettes, and Dr. Z is in the lead going down the pipeline. Sandy catching up, trying to make a pass on the inside of Calamity Corners. Didn't quite pull it off. And, oh, Dr. Z comes in hot. Sandy right behind him. It's going to be Dr. Z taking that win and moving up the ranks. Oh, boy, now he's got to take out Thunder Girl and that Buick Wildcat. Ooh, there he goes. He sticks his nose out going through Crater Corners. Got a little drifty there in the 180, but he is speeding right along. Good line out of the Calamity Corners. Taking it straight down Leaky Drive. Avoids the fence. Oh! But apparently, Thunder Girl did not. Not quite sure what happened, but she ended up into the wall of the announcer's stand. And now it's Dr. Z against Variant and the Kodachrome Jamera. Ooh, door-to-door action there going into Crater Corners. So Dr. Z pulls out and he spins out on the pipeline. And Variant gets past him. And he's down Leaky Drive. And Dr. Z is done for the day as Variant comes in for a win. And there's Dr. Z camping out in Calamity Corners. Oh, wow. Right there. Gets up on the outside wall. And that's enough to spin him out. And Variant just zipped right by him. A flash of Kodachrome. Oh, now Variant's going after Suki Kyoto. Sorry about that. And they're door-to-door. A lot of tight competition in here, but Variant ends up pulling out in front. And now across the Dragon Spine. Oh! And Suki is out at the Temple Turn. Variant comes sliding in. And Suki is a lava cake. Holy Snikes, here we go. It's the big show, folks. Variant versus Puff. Variant takes the lead out of the gate, keeping his nose just ahead of Puff. Spins out entering the pipeline. But he holds it together as he's now down Leaky Drive and around the cavern turn and across the finish line. Oh, well ahead of Puff on that race. Puff coming.
He's on a Totem Warz, brother.
Wow, that was some intense and great racing. As good as it was, we're not done here yet. Continuing your thrills fix from the OMR to you, I present the Guardian Rally Finale. It's Team Azure Dynasty versus Pele's Paladins in a team rally showdown. 2 drivers from each team have been selected and matched up into groups of 4 and will compete in 4 laps, racing rally mode, down the Obsidian Mountain. Drivers can score a point for each checkpoint they pass, but only if they keep their roof to the sun. If they lava cake on or off the raceway, they will receive 0, nada, nil, nix, no points. Like a crater, it's the big O you don't want. Drivers can also score by crossing the finish line. 4 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, and 1 point for fourth. At the end of the 8 laps, the team with the highest combined score will be declared the winners and champions of the Guardian Rally Finale. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, so back to the top for more racing island style. All right, here we go. Parker Lane's going to lead them down for the first lap, waiting for the green. Ching, ching, there they go. 4 at a time in the Crater Corners. Oh! And I'm not quite sure. That was Mallory. Looked like she flipped over, but she recovered. But not enough. Parker Lane leading that down. Yeah, leading them down through the cavern turn now. And over that last drop. And he's the only one going to cross the line. And wow, not a good way to open things up. Mallory and Megan in the corners, and DeJin stalls out short of the finish line. All right, we rotate them over, and now Megan McKenna is up front. There's the green, and there they go. Megan's got a lead going into the crater corners. Coming out on the pipeline, everybody over the jump, nice and clean. They're lining up, and it looks like Mallory is falling way behind there. Megan first over there. Oh, we got a crash on the final straight. And we got no one else coming through. There's Mallory stuck in the temple turn. And DeJin and Parker left on the final straight under the pedestrian bridge. Alright, and now it's going to be DeJin leading them down. With Megan on the outside. But it's going to be DeJin. Oh, Mallory got spun around right there. And Megan is down and out. Lava caked after the pipeline jump. And Mallory keeping up pretty good with her teammate as they finish first and second. Mallory doing it in reverse. And neither one of the Azure Dynasty drivers made it down. There is Parker Lane. He made it just past checkpoint 3. And no points for McKenna, as she lava caked in Calamity Corners. Well, actually lava caked before that and slid into Calamity Corners. All right, Mallory Sloan is now taking the point. As they wait the green, there it is, and it's going to be DeJin leading them out. But Mallory takes the lead over the first jump on the pipeline. 4 ducks in a row. Uh-oh, DeJin's in trouble. She gets passed up by both the Azure Dynasty drivers. Oh, and then Megan skids out and blocks all of them out except for Mallory. Mallory gets a solo finish. And the Azure Dynasty really boffed one up right there. And yep, that allowed Mallory and DeJin of Pele's Paladins.
These are the Totem Warz, brother.
Take that win. 20 and 20. Pretty even drivers there. Group 2 is on deck, and we got Roland Long leading them down with Reina Ortiz on the outside as they enter crater corners. Oh, and Roland's getting sideways. Over the jump, spins backwards, going through Calamity Corners. Not the best ideal. And he is off the raceway. Emmy makes it past him. She's down leaky, and now on the final straight over the last jump. And I hear somebody else coming, and it's going to be Reina Ortiz coming in for second. And we got Roland for 3. And Izzy Going is going to get 2 as he stalled out in Calamity Corners. Vroom, vroom, vroom. It's going to be Emmy Chambers up front in that Buick Courageous. Oh, there go. Wow. Roland is going and gone as Emmy's now trying to get her team some points. Going down the final straight over the last jump. And it's going to be Izzy Going coming in second behind Emmy. And what happened to these two? There's Reina Ortiz. She'll get 2 points. She stayed on her wheels. But Roland is going to get that big goose egg. Where is Roland? There he is. In the craters. Didn't even make the first turn. All right, let's get him back to the top. Now it's gonna be. Oh, I keep forgetting this poor guy's name. Is he going on the outside? Oh, and whoa! Rolling Lawn is gone again, and there goes his teammate Emmy Chambers, just lava caked over the pipeline jump. And yeah, wow, that was crazy. 1-2, and both of the Pele Paladin drivers are out. And it's going to be Izzy Goen coming in for first, followed by his teammate Reina Ortiz. And there's Emmy. Lava cake just before checkpoint 3. Wouldn't have mattered if she made it past it, being upside down. And rolling for the second time into the craters on turn 1. And we're already up to the last race. Oh my goodness, come on, please. I need more. But I'm sorry. Here it is, the final race. That Stargate camera went out on me, so I had to go a different route. And Reina Ortiz is down and out in Calamity Corners. And now Emmy Chambers is out. And it's going to be Izzy going over that last jump. And a solo finish. We got a triple DNF for our last lap. And that's not going to bode well for the scores. And where is our... There he is, rolling long. Lava caked in Calamity Corners for another double goose egg. Tally them up, and sure enough, the numbers tell the story. Izzy Goen did really good. All right, here we go. Azure Dynasty, first group, 33 to 40. Or, yeah. And they come back with a big 43 to take the win and the championship of the Guardian Rally Finale, 76 to 61.
These are the Totem Warz, brother.
Aloha and welcome back from the track. Was it as good for you as it was for me? Wow. These drivers know how to put it all down, and the mountain knows how to put a driver down. While the ravine and the fence have been silently starving for metal and flesh, the mountain has found new places and new ways to ruin a driver's day. We started the night with the Totem Driver Shakedown and a double DNF by Cooter Smith and Racing Rick. In race 2, Morgan went on safari hunting rhinos, specifically for the black rhino that knocked her down the totem ranks last week. It was door to door up to the pipeline where Morgan took the lead. Rhino stayed in close pursuit until he slid out of control on Leaky Leaky Drive, and Morgan shot in for the win. In race 3, Morgan faced off against Dr. Z, and in a tight battle down the OMR, from the outside, Dr. Z broke into the lead as they hit the pipeline. Morgan stayed close until her tranny blew in Calamity Corners, and she coasted to a stall. That took us to race 4 with Dr. Z looking to get a jump on Savage Sandy. In one of the tighter races of the day, Sandy stuck to Dr. Z like they were conjoined twins, but the doctor was in and successfully separated them at the finish line. Race 5, Dr. Z was looking to take down Thunder Girl and her Wildcat. Dr. Z got the jump on her and blocked her out in Crater Corners. It was all Dr. Z to the finish line, and Thunder Girl ended her day crashing into the corner of the announcer's stand. Race 6, Dr. Z was moving up the ranks and now looked across the lane at Variant and at Kodachrome Jamera. Dr. Z had the lead going into the pipeline, but then hit the wall and spun out, allowing Variant to blast by in a flash of Kodachrome. Dr. Z was last seen in the campsite with some of the ladies from the OMR. A race 7, Variant was after the number 2 spot, and Suki Kyoto was in his way. It was a door-to-door race all the way to the pipeline, where Variant took the lead. Suki tried to stay with him, pushing Treadpool past its limits, and blew her engine, causing her to crash out into Temple Turn, while Variant raced on to a victory and a shot at regaining the number 1 rank. He'd have to get past Puff for that to happen, and in the final race of the shakedown, Puff and Variant battled through crater corners. Puff had a chance to steal the lead when Variant slipped entering the pipeline, but that was the only chance Variant would give him. Variant found that magic gear, and the Kodachrome Chimera was racing into the sunset of another victory and reclaimed that #1 rank on the totem. Congratulations to every one of these drivers. You raced with fierce pride and for the most part survived this most unforgiving mountain raceway. That in itself warrants congratulations. Well, that brings us up to the Guardian Rally finale. It set the Azure Dynasty team against Pele's Paladins in a team showdown rally mode. The OMR ramped up and the drivers were ramped up to prove who was the best Guardian team. Group 1 made up of drivers Parker Lane and Megan McKenna of the Azure Dynasty faced off with Mallory Sloan and the Jin of Pele's Paladins. Parker Lane was the only one to cross the finish line in a triple DNF Race 1. In Race 2, it was tighter as the 4 cars raced through Calamity Corners, with Azure Dynasty leading 1 and 2. We dropped to 3 when Mallory stalled out in the Temple turn, leaving Megan to lead the 3 down to the final straight, where it suddenly became a solo finish as Parker spun out in front of the Jin, ending their race just feet from the finish line. Race 3, Pele's Paladins shared the P1 start and took full advantage of it. Mallory 180'd entering the pipeline. Maybe that distracted Megan as she hit the cliff wall going over the pipeline ramp and crashed on landing. DeGin and Mallory took a huge lead and a 1-2 finish, while Parker took damage getting caught up behind Megan's crash and stalled out in the Temple turn. The final race for Group 1 and team points were tied. Mallory and DeGin had a front row start, and all was good, tight and lined up like ducks in a row. But when they hit the dragon's spine, DeGin tail whipped out of control, right in the inner wall of the Temple turn, and both the Azure Dynasty drivers passed her over the leaky ramp. That should have been advantageous for the Azure Dynasty team, but Megan slipped up on the final straight, causing a 3-car pileup under the pedestrian overpass, giving Mallory a solo finish. DeGin and Mallory Sloan won Group 1 for Pele's Paladins. Group 2 saw the combo teams of Roland Long and Emmy Chambers of Pele's Paladins go rally mode against Reina Ortiz and Izzy Goen from the Azure Dynasty. Race 1 was off to a hot start, with Roland leading the way till he spun out and in reverse hit the inner wall exiting Calamity Corners, puncturing 2 tires and ending his race. Emmy and Reina were able to get past and finish 1 and 2 respectively, while Izzy was left stalled in Calamity Corners. Race 2 of Group 2, Roland Long was rolling and gone, flying off into crater corners on the very first turn, maybe with a little help from Reina, who karma paid back with a smack from the merger wall in crater corners, spinning her around. Emmy led Izzy down the pipeline to the finish first and second, and Reina made it past checkpoint 2, while Roland got the big O in all the wrong ways. Despite Emmy's back-to-back full-course wins, Pele's Paladins were falling behind, and Race 3 did not help the situation as Roland launched himself once again into the craters. Emmy caught the pipeline wall and flipped her Wildcat over the ramp, crashing down and roof sliding to the bottom of the pipeline. Izzy took first and Reina rode in for second, while Emmy and Roland scored that dreaded double O. In the final race of the day, Reina got caught up on the inner pipeline wall and was out by Calamity Corners. Roland lava cake just after Calamity Corners, and Emmy almost made a clean pass, but a fender cutting into her tire said otherwise, as she was out crossing the dragon's spine, just short of checkpoint 3. Izzy with an open track glided to a solo finish and a full score. All points tallied after being down in the first half, the Azure Dynasty emerged to be the champions of the Totem Warz Guardian Rally finale. That's a wrap on today's action and sadly for Season 3 of the Totem Warz. It's hard work, but it's fun to watch, see the results, and cheering on my friends as you race to take on the most unforgiving mountain raceway, Obsidian Mountain. But the most fun has been spending time trackside with you, my friends, and bringing you the high-octane action and thrills from Griffin's Old Diecast Motorsports. I do hope you enjoyed the series. Totem Tuesdays and the Totem Wars will return in Season 4, and I'm looking at a springtime start. I would start right away, but we got a few other events that we need to get through before Totem Tuesdays returns. So if you want to get in on Season 4, you can start preparing and send in your entries when ready, but please get them here before February of 2026. It's a 65-gram weight limit, and you can enter up to 2 vehicles, no buses, no fantasy or animal vehicles. And please, dry lubes only. If you need shipping information, you can email me at gdmracing1@gmail.com. This invitation will not be posted on Redline. This is it. So I hope all my friends are viewing or will view this episode and get some new blood and fresh paint into the Totem Wars. If you already have cars here but want to send in a fresh team, you are more than welcome to. And I must put in this disclaimer. Vehicles entered into Totem Wars are not meant to be returned. They are carried over into future seasons. Coming up later next month, I have the Bone Shaker Halloween event coming, and I really want to host an F1 Grand Prix event. I just have to figure out the parameters, so keep a watch out for that announcement. And we got the Aloha Invitational returning at year's end. I've been working hard behind the scenes to bring you something new from Griffin's Old Diecast Motorsports, as well as putting some other content together for you, so you'll have that to hold you over to the next event. I've also been pumping out a lot of shorts you can check out. And if you need a real fix, just go to the video archive and rewatch or catch up on some of the races you missed in the past. And lastly, I need the following friends to email me their shipping info so I can get your Totem Wars prize packs to you. Black Rhino of Top Gear Racing, Cooter Smith of Stupid Fish Racing, Dr. Z of Zamax Speed Shop, Jabo from Dog Squab Racing, Puff of Puffs Racing, Savage Sandy, formerly Sidekick Sandy, of Rick's Diecast Racing, and Thunder Girl of Chase Family Racing. If you can all email me at gdmracing1@gmail.com with your shipping information, I'll get those packages out to you as soon as possible. Now with the sun setting, I say aloha to you all, and mahalo for joining me trackside, and for those of you viewing the action after the premiere. Please remember to give that thumbs up a click, and leave me so many comments, I'm replying for a week. Let me see that 500 subscribers by Christmas, and Santa Griff will have some stocking stuffers for a few of you. Until the next race, aloha from the island. Have a good day, a good night. May the spirit of aloha fill your days. Share a smile with someone, and always keep your roof to the sun. Mahalo.
These are the Totem Warz, brother.